You know what's really sad? Ping Pong the animation is going to be ending very soon. In just about 3 weeks or so, this series is going to come to a close, and most likely we'll never have hope for a season 2, which really upsets me, because I've enjoyed this series a lot. I have really enjoyed this series for the story and the characters, the voice acting, everything. And it's sad to see that this series is going to eventually be coming to a close soon. And just, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I mean, is anyone else getting the anime blues already for this series? So besides that, let's talk about this episode, okay? So this episode, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of character development, and a lot of the symbolism that's been built up through the course of this entire series with the robot hero has been shown in this episode, and I love it. So at first, let's just talk about the beginning part of this episode, okay? So we get to see that Pecco's knee is really starting to bug him, and in the course of the entire episode, we see that his knee is getting worse and worse. And as each match has passed in these past couple episodes, we see that Pecco's knee is becoming more and more obvious that is really starting to hurt him. With this episode, Pecco is forced to actually take painkillers to be able to suppress the pain of his knee. Now, as we found out many episodes ago about Butterfly Joe, we found out Butterfly Joe's friend had a knee injury and pretty much could no longer play because of that knee injury. So, pretty much this knee injury that Pecco has sustained, most likely he's going to have a serious knee injury at the end of this series, probably the last 2 episodes or so, and he's going to be forced to fight, Tsukimoto in the final match, most likely after they beat Kazuma. Pretty much what this means is Tsukimoto's going to have to take down his friend that is injured with his knee, and he's going to have to do the exact opposite what Butterfly Joe never did. Butterfly Joe, as we all know, pretty much let his friend win, and he suicided himself on the game board. So, it's kind of sad to see that pretty much Pecco is, for an inevitable future, he's eventually going to have this knee injury to where he can no longer be a champion, where he can't go into the championships and become very big and a big ping pong player. So it's sad if you think about it like this, because actually Ping Pong the animation is setting up for some slight of a tragedy, honestly, if you think about it, because, I mean, Pecco is just eventually, his knee is going to give out. I mean, right now, he's at the breaking point to where he cannot go any further. I mean, he's got a couple of monsters standing before him. He has Kazuma and he has Tsukimoto in front of him, these 2 big players, and he's supposed to be able to fight these people with his knee injury. So right there, you know for a fact Pecco's going to be pushing his character to the very limit. His body's going to be pushed until most likely his knee eventually gives out to where he can no longer play. And that is sad if you think about that. So besides the moment of Pecco getting to see some development with him, pretty much how he's the only one that could pretty much fight Tsukimoto in this series, is just, it's amazing. In this episode, we see that Tsukimoto was called Smile because he actually smiled. Not because of the irony that he never smiles, but because when Pecco taught Tsukimoto ping pong for the first time, Tsukimoto smiled. And right there, it just shows you the character, the bonds between these 2 characters, the friendship they had. And then Tsukimoto eventually stopped smiling when he fought Pecco because Pecco had bad playing. He was a lame player. He wasn't doing the best he possibly could. And so Tsukimoto got bored, upset, and that's why he never smiled. And so right here, I love getting to see the backstory behind these 2 characters and why Tsukimoto is technically called Smile, because I know we all thought Tsukimoto was called Smile because he never smiled. So, interesting, very interesting development right there for the characters in this late in the series. We get to see Sanada, the man right underneath Kazuma, gets defeated by Tsukimoto this episode, and we see that pretty much he understands his problems, his weaknesses. He has a lot of weaknesses in that he understands that Tsukimoto is a downright freaking monster, and he actually acknowledges Kazuma as a good player. For instance, he acknowledges Kazuma saying, "Oh, now I understand why you do the way you do for the team, why you always play ping pong the way you do, and that your girl is out of my reach." I love the acknowledgement that Sanada actually showed towards Kazuma this episode. It was really great displayed character development in this series. And that is one thing I feel like Ping Pong knows how to display. It is character development. Character development is something this series really succeeds at, and I enjoy that. Music, as always, is epic, and I love the voice acting. The voice acting is great. So, overall, this episode had a lot of meaning. Each episode of Ping Pong has so much meaning with the way they set up the groundwork for the upcoming episode. It's just insane. So, next episode, it looks like we're going to have Kazuma's match. So, I wonder exactly what is going to happen next episode. As we can see, we have Pecco that's going to have to be fighting, Kazuma's match next week. So, that is going to be scary. I wonder if Pecco's going to be able to beat Kazuma, because as we all see how crazy Kazuma was, I mean, he was a freaking monster. So, I mean, can Pecco really stand up against Kazuma? And even if Pecco does defeat Kazuma, do you think that Pecco is going to be able to stand up against Tsukimoto, that most likely is just the monster of the entire, ping pong tournament right now? So let me know in the comments below how you feel about that. I love all of you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.